Welcome back to another episode on the MLD Balls page. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Washington Wizards. What it do, DC? Because if you listening to me, I know you a Wizards fan because ain't nobody listening about no Washington Wizards unless you an NBA junkie or unless you a Wizards fan. Because this is a team that, man, off rip, I'm wrong at their starting point guard position because Malcolm Brogdon is hurt. Malcolm Brogdon out 6 to 8 weeks. And they're going to implement Jordan Poole at their starting point guard position instead, which is something that, man. And then Kyle Kuzma is going to be starting on this team, of course, instead of Corey Kispert. So they're probably going to put Lel at shooting guard again. Oh man. Oh man. So they're going to have a lineup realistically of Jordan Poole, Lel, Kyle Kuzma, Alex Sarr, Jonas Valanciunas. Oh man. Oh man, this Wizards team, dude. Oh man. But like something that I want to just talk off rip, and then we'll come back to the roster later. Is the bright side of this team and the three draft picks that they got this season? Because why even talk about this roster when we know that they just got 3 first-round draft picks, and that's where this team is going towards. Alex Sarr was possibly the best player in the draft, and they got him because he didn't want to go to Atlanta. Like he just didn't want to go to Atlanta. And Alex Sarr seemed like he have a friend in Bilal, and they're the French duo that is a defensive tandem. Like this is gonna be a defensive tandem with Alex Sarr, dude, and Bilal. Man, last year I loved Bilal in the draft. I didn't think he was going to go as high as he did, despite even though I liked him. But holy, he went high. And then Alex Sarr, hey man, he could have went one to me. He might have went low. I don't know. I don't know. But Alex Sarr has been kind of looking iffy. But the thing that I'm happy about is like I knew his self creation was like that. That's what I thought was iffy about his game, and why I thought Trae Young would have been a perfect landing spot for him because of how he would have just got the creation off of that. But I do think that's a big reason on why this team was willing to let Danny Avdija go. I hated that move because I felt like Bilal at small forward, Danny at power forward, and Alex Sarr at center would have been a crazy trio one day, I mean. And if they want to keep putting Bilal at shooting guard, they could have even kept Bilal at shooting guard, Danny at the 3, and Alex Sarr at the 4. Like, I felt like Denny was like, oh man, I love Denny. If you could have traded Denny or Kuzma, I would have picked Kuzma. But you can't have everything. And Alex Sarr is a great player. And the reason I brought up that trade is Bub Carrington is somebody who they got from it. But before I talk about Bub, Alex Sarr, I do think he's a great defender. I think he's a great defender, great athlete. He has the ability to become a shooter one day. Like he has the form, he has the confidence. It's just the self creation it just isn't there yet, and he needs somebody to set him up, and that's why they had to let go of their play finisher to get a play initiator. Because Bub Carrington, he is a good shot creator. That is what he does. His confidence is out the gym, out the roof. I mean, he's a good ball handler, decent passer, so he will be able to set up Alex Sarr through points of the game, and I do think that was a good move by the Wizards, getting a point guard like this. There was other options on the board, but Bub Carrington is really good, and he's a high upside player because he could become a elite combo guard one day. And hey, we'll see what Bub Carrington becomes one day. But I like him. He reminds me of Malcolm Brogdon. It's funny how in one of these graphics I'm gonna spell his name wrong because I spelled DAN here. I think that's wrong. I think it's DON. But yeah, shout out to Malcolm Brogdon. I didn't realize it until like we hit record on this video that Malcolm Brogdon is on this team, and Bub Carrington, my favorite comp for him is Malcolm Brogdon. So hey, they also got a guy who plays just like him to kind of show him the ropes. And D'Angelo Russell, combo guard, kind of play at his own pace, play at his own tempo. Spencer Dinwiddie, DeJounte Murray, if he could, improve a little bit on defense. Bob Carrington is a decent shot creator. His ability to get to the rim, I think that's something that he could prove on in the NBA just because of how good of a ball handler he is, and he's gonna add on weight. As you grow as a man, he's 18 right now. When he becomes like 26, he's gonna have some weight on him and be able to get to the rim because of how good of a ball handler he is and how he manipulates the defense when he dribbles the ball. Like he knows what he's doing mentally when he has the ball in his hands. It just can the shots go down, and I love his confidence. So if the shots can go down, Bub could be something nice. It's just can they go down? And his size, like I'm saying, he's 18, 190. He's 6'5", though. I feel like that's a frame that you'll be able to grow into. Like he's 6'5", man. He'll be all right. Keyshawn George, I have this graphic so wrong with his height. Keyshawn George, there's no way that he's 6'4". Keyshawn George, he like I said, like I have in the graphic, he reminds me of like a Tracy McGrady if he hits his ceiling because he's 6'8". Like he's a 6'8", Swiss Army knife type of point forward who could shoot. And I was like, yo, Keyshawn George, nice. He could shoot, he could ball handle. He reminds me of Johnny Furphy, who's also in this draft, could shoot, ball handle. RJ Barrett, who could shoot, ball handle. It just how efficient of a shooter are you? Because if Keyshawn George is a legit efficient shooter, he could become into a Tracy McGrady, man. That shooting guard, small forward who's 6'8" and could just lights out shoot. And imagine that next to Bilal, and I'm talking about how Alex Sarr's main weakness is shot creation. The Wizards added a 6'5" and a 6'8" shot creator next to him, that's kind of tough. So if one of them hits, hey man, they both have high ceilings because they're both of these players, their confidence offensively is out the roof and they do knock down threes. It's just in the NBA, I wonder how much they knock them down. One way to find out because hey, season starts a couple weeks from now. Maybe no, season starts next week. So yeah, that's why I'm pushing these videos out. So if you haven't listened to me talk to your team yet, go check out that video. Caris LeVert, he's another one of those 6-7 point forwards that could play in between. And Keyshawn George, like I'm saying, reminds me immediately of those guys when I watch them play. The closing lineup for the Wizards, man, I think just buy into the young boys. Why not? Malcolm Brogdon hurt. Jordan Poole is a bench player. Bilal is a guy who I would keep as a stonewall on this team moving forward. Kyle Kuzma, I just think he's a very good player who you should have in closing lineups. So like let your team rely on Kuzma. Like because he's good and he could like help your players grow while you're not losing on purpose. And he's also not too good to where he's gonna win you all those games. You know what I mean? Like you have Kuzma and Bub as your creators with Keyshawn George, who as your tri-sherry ball handler with Bilal and Alex Sarr, playing defense. Kuzma's a solid defender, solid rebounder. Hey, just let Kuzma, Bub, let Kuzma and the rookies cook. You feel me? Let Kuzma and the rooks cook, get his trade value up, get him out of here. You feel me? Respectfully. Same with Jordan Poole. Put him in the position where he's best at. Jordan Poole's a bench player. Then get him out of here. You feel me? Respectfully. Corey Kispert. I unfortunately think this is a guy who they're gonna get out of here, but like you see in the start of the video, I personally think he should be a starter, man. He should be the Keyshawn George bridge. Like if Keyshawn George isn't good, he just put Corey Kispert at shooting guard, let go of everyone else, and let the rookies cook, man. That's the point of time that the Wizards are at. They got maybe one of the better defenders in the next couple draft classes we're gonna get with Alex Sarr. You're gonna just tank again, not tank, but you're just gonna lose again. You're not good enough. You know what I mean? You're just not. And the only way you're good enough is if one of these rookies just go ballistic. Because we know what Jordan Poole is. We know what Malcolm Brogdon is. We know what Corey Kispert is. But those guys are good players. But hey, and we think that if those guys are in the lineup, this is the worst team. So Why not just be the worst team and let the young guys, at least have a chance to prove us wrong? I do think like Bub and Keyshawn, like I said, the only thing is can the shots fall? And the only way we know is if we put them in the positions to let the shots, drop. Now onto the bench for this Wizards team, man. We got into the rookies, we got into the young guys, we got into the main pieces of the core, but there's a couple guys on this team. Like when you do move on from a Kyle Kuzma, you could just go ahead and play Marvin Bagley, who's not bad. Marvin Bagley gave the Pistons and he played somewhere else. I think he gave Marvin Bagley was given good minutes. Patrick Baldwin, he could be a guy who you just have in your lineups when you're tanking. Johnny Davis could be a guy who you give some minutes to see what he is. But like, yeah, after the young guys and the players I talked about, and like Malcolm Brogdon's already hurt, this team is kind of chopped, man. So like, we just gonna play the rookies, trade Kuzma, maybe for like some draft picks and salary. We don't know what we trading Kuzma for, but trade Kuzma. This team is bad, but we know that they're bad, and that's exactly why the fun part about this team is the three rookies. Just hope one of them could pan out because you have three tries. Somebody is gonna be a star player. You have three tries, and Alex Sarr is, I think, at least like a Evan Mobley type of player. I think like you know how Evan Mobley just instantly impacted defensively. I feel like that's what Alex Sarr is. So you have 1.5 chances really to get a star player because Alex Sarr is almost there already, to me at least. And it's hey, Bub and Keyshawn. But yeah, I'm chatting at this point of the video. But this Wizards draft class could be like franchise changing, franchise altering, because it's also going to allow them to be in a position where Alex Sarr isn't going to be so good to where they could be a team that gets the Cooper flag. They could be that team, and then they could be the team to get the Ace Bailey. They could be the team to get the next best perimeter creator. Then that perimeter creator is going to be around a team that instantly has the defensive duo with Bilal and Sarr that, all right, if you put a young guy like the next Luca next to Alex Sarr and Bilal immediately on defense, that duo defensively is going to be able to help out a lot of people. That's just what I'm saying. The Wizards defense, that's something that I think they should buy into. I think that should be their identity moving forward as a franchise because Alex Sarr and Bilal are that good. And if you could be a team that, just wreaks havoc defensively and you find that one guy who can change everything. Yeah. But that's what I would do. Thank you, Wizards fans, for listening. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Do you think you should trade Kuzma? Do you think that you should trade Brogdon? Y'all do. Brogdon, I would actually keep him because now I'm saying it out loud. He plays just like Bub, and just have him as a leader for Bub and get Jordan Poole out of there and Kyle Kuzma. But yeah, that would be it for me. Thank you everybody for listening. Have a nice day and God bless.